For Filipino and other products from Asia, as well as fresh fruits and vegetables, poultry, meats, and seafood, come and visit 88 Supermarket with branches at 4801 Victoria Drive and its new location at 2611 East 49th Avenue in Vancouver.
Philippine News Canada is brought to you by Rayford Media Group.
Hello mga kabayan, magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Rosette Correa at ngayong araw na ito, very special ang guests natin, a father and son team who have done very well in the insurance industry here in Vancouver and and serving a lot of Filipino-Canadian families. So please help me welcome to our program this day, AJ and Josh Joti. Hello, AJ and Josh.
Hello.
Well, thank you so much for accommodating us today. We have a lot of questions, and of course, please share your insights about AJ Insurance, about the business, and how you are serving the community at large, and even especially the Filipino-Canadian community. So one of the things that I wanted to ask, of course, history. Mag-history muna tayo, history lesson on AJ Insurance, because ever since I landed in Canada 15 years ago, naririnig ko na yung AJ Insurance. In fact, I had I was working at a tutorial center before, and one of my clients was an agent with AJ Insurance. So tell us a little bit of history of AJ Insurance.
Okay, you want me from the beginning?
Yes.
I am a chemical engineering profession. Okay, I graduated from Mapua Institute of Technology. I came to Canada in 1975 and joined the insurance business in 1976. Okay, actually, my joining the insurance is just basically accidental because I got laid off from work. And my agent said, why don't you try insurance? I said, what the heck insurance for? I mean, I only bought insurance from you kasi sabi ng nanay ko, I buy insurance. Then again, I tried. I told the manager, okay, I'll try it for 6 months. And the rest is history. I forgot all about 6 months, and I became an MDRT member, one of the top producers of Philippine top producers in Vancouver. And then in 1991, I decided to put up my own agency.
1991.
December 1991.
Wow,
And
so 30 years.
30 years. This is our 30th year, actually.
Wow, so you're celebrating. Should be a grand celebration.
If we can. If the hotels are open, then we will celebrate a grand celebration.
Absolutely. Well, I'll wait for my invite when that happens. So 1976, you got into insurance. Was the insurance business the same way in 1976 as it is today? I know that insurance systems change throughout, from generation to generation.
There's no difference. The only thing is that now it's more computerized.
Mm-hmm.
When I started in the business, there's no cell phone. Yeah, there's no cell phone, no computer, just a simple calculator. So we have big rate book about as big as the phone book. The old phone book.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do it before. Now it's all computerized, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big difference. But it's just the selling system, the prospecting, all the selling cycles is all the same. Anyways, it doesn't change. It doesn't.
So you got into the business in 76. You arrived in Canada in 72. you know,
No, I died in 75.
75. So you were into a year already in Canada, and at the same time, were you already raising a family, or
No,
that
no,
came
I
after?
came in, I was single. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Okay.
I sponsored my mom, Josh's mom. I
Mm-hmm.
sponsored that mom in 1976.
Ah, I see. Okay. And so Joshua was born a few years after.
Yeah.
1980, yeah.
Oh, good year.
Yeah, I have an older sister. She was born a year above me, 1979, and I was 1980.
Oh my goodness, 1 year apart.
Year and a half, yeah.
How was
Okay.
that? How was that for you, Kuya AJ, raising two kids and handling a business at the same
Yeah.
time in the 80s?
It wasn't easy, you know. How would I say it? Kasi I started a business, right? And I really don't know anything about this business. I'm not a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
First. When I started AJ Insurance, I started alone. Just me. I'm the president, I'm the manager, I'm the agent, I'm the secretary, I'm the janitor. Just me. But I have this passion that I can do it. You know, it's hard. Really, it's very hard. I remember I have to pay my employees, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have money to pay them. You know, because the business is not that good.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to borrow from my credit cards. I have to call my brother, borrow money from my brother. My priority is to pay my employees first because they are depending on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as time goes by, I learned the business. I learned it the hard way though. That's why our agents are very, very lucky now because in agent insurance, we teach them everything from scratch. We teach them how to prospect, to how to make an appointment, how to close the sale, how to service the client. When I started in the business, nobody taught me anything. You know,
Self-taught,
self-taught, really. That's what
just like
self-taught.
just like many Filipino Canadians.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So until I decided that when I put up age insurance, it was because they call us managing general agent, but the managing general agent world is dog eat dog. Somebody will offer them higher, about 5% higher, then they'll move to another MGA. I will call ourselves MGA. And I do the same thing. I offer them 5%, they'll join me. 5% higher. And I said, I don't like this anymore. So sometime, Jay, when did we change our system?
I want to say around 2005.
Yeah, we decided, okay, forget it. We will not recruit any more experienced agents. We will recruit green agents. When I say green, we will recruit somebody who doesn't know anything about life insurance.
Yep.
And we will shape them the way we want to. And my friends in the business said, AJ, you'll get broke. Don't do that. But to me, that's the only way to do it because we don't like that kind of world anymore. At first, yes, it's hard. But now everybody's copying our system.
So maybe asking Josh, you and your clientele, of course, young people. This time, young people. Let's talk Filipinos. Yeah, sometimes it's an easy sell for them if you ask them these questions, right? But for young people are not thinking about insurance because they're young and they think that they're invincible. And what's your approach now to the younger generation?
Well, a lot of it's too about is creating that foundation because it's inevitable. Unfortunately, we all pass away, so we have to set up that plan, before it's too late. So for many young clients, the first thing is about living benefits, how to protect your own income should you get sick or ill, and that builds a foundation for a family. Now, what happens to your family if you become sick or ill? So I find a lot of clients purchasing the living benefit side of things, but also the wealth generation side of things of our business, which is like the investments, helping our clients grow wealth, build a portfolio. And then when the time comes that they have a spouse kids, a home, a mortgage, then they're already set up and they already have that footing and that base to build upon. But it is education to let them know, hey, start now, start early. There's lots of benefits to start early. Price being one of them, health being another one. And so if they can understand that concept of, I need to not think about just today, which I understand we're all thinking about the now, looking forward and say, hey, if I plan properly now, my life will be much easier later on. My family will be protected later on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a cultural thing too, especially in the Filipino culture. It's natural for us to care for our families for a long time. And they understand that aspect of it. And that helps the process of them understanding, hey, I need to make sure my family is taken care of here and in the Philippines and my upcoming family. So if they have the ability to, start sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
For Filipino and other products from Asia, as well as fresh fruits and vegetables, poultry, meats, and seafood, come and visit 88 Supermarket with branches at 4801 Victoria Drive and its new location at 2611 East 49th Avenue in Vancouver.
So how does AJ Insurance build that trust with your clients, knowing that a lot of people are, sometimes they're not well aware of what insurance is for, or sometimes they are they doubt the effectiveness of insurance or what it will do for them. So how does AJ Insurance ensure their clients that, nope, this is a sure deal, you really need to get this in order for you to take care of your future?
Yeah.
I want to say a lot of our business is word of mouth. AJ Insurance in itself is a family, the AJ family, we call it. So we're really built on camaraderie. And when we're helping one another, our clients can see that. So through referrals or through meeting at events and parties, we're very genuine with our clients. And, we are trying to educate and help them. And the hope is that they can feel that and move forward with us. In terms of business, my dad talked about training and development. We're very focused on professional, compliant approaches to clients to make sure that they understand what they're getting, why they're getting it, and how it's going to help them. We're not just, trying to peddle products. We're really trying to build financial foundations for these families. And I think that in itself builds the trust. When we have clients, we're building lifelong relationships literally with them. And so they have to see us for who we are and understand that we're the ones that are going to be there to help them along the way.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And so so that's the trademark of AJ Insurance. So one of the things that has fascinated me about the company is that your agents are mostly Filipino. Is that because the market is Filipino Canadian, or what's that system or what is that model that AJ Insurance is following?
Actually, yes, because we're Filipinos, our natural market is Filipino, right? Now we have some agents also who are Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a group of Chinese in Richmond. They have been with us, Jay, for how long before they moved to put off their own?
Maybe 5-6 years.
Yeah, 5-6 years. They were with us for 5-6 years, and then last year or just this year, they decided to put up their own, so I let them go.
Mm-hmm.
And have their own NGA. But we still have other agents from other from other nationality. Like we have Laotian, we have Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
we have that's it, right? Laotian, Chinese, and that's it. Extra.
Mm-hmm.
Or we have one from Burma, Burmese.
Okay.
Or they don't call it Burma anymore. Right?
It's Myanmar.
Yeah, Myanmar. That's right.
That's right.
That's okay. Not a lot of people know that either. So really the target market is Filipino Canadians, just like you and me. And one of the interesting things that I do find with the company, when Kuya Ray asked me to do this interview with you, is that he said, interview AJ and Joshua. I said, who's Joshua? And he said, oh, he's the son, he's the vice president. And I said, that's amazing, because a number of businesses, whether they like it or not, there are some businesses where the children are not interested in taking over the business. So just asking Josh, what made you interested in insurance, and what made you interested in working side by side with Dad, that would kind of make the pathway for Elodie for the future and the future Jotties.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was myself was never planning to become an insurance agent. Even growing up, I knew my dad did, and he was successful at it. But I always had different dreams and aspirations. I spent a lot of my early working life in the hospitality business, being of service. But I did spend my earlier, elementary school days in the summer times assisting my dad, clerical work, filing, answering phone calls. And over time, I did things that I thought would be fun and entertaining to work at, but there was not a fulfillment there. I couldn't find until I joined actually my dad at AJ Insurance. So I became licensed in the early 2000s, and I was a full-time advisor for several years. And then I slowly started joining the staff and administration in the company. So I worked the reception, front desk, and then did some product training, some contracting, and worked my way into the vice president position. And through that time is really, I found my passion in the business. Of course, being a family business and working with my dad is amazing. We've always had a good relationship. It's just gotten stronger at the agency. We still butt heads sometimes, but I think that's healthy.
Of course.
But absolutely, working with the people we work with, understanding and realizing how valuable what we offer is to our clients. We never want to see a claim be paid out. Well, we don't want to see a client claim. We always want to see a claim be paid out. But witnessing those moments where clients, are having their toughest time and the bills are piling up, and we get to be the ones that put a check in their hands and, say, hey, we're here to help. It's the impact. It's so powerful. And because of the industry too, we've been able to give back a lot to charities and outreach programs, and that adds to the fulfillment, both spiritually and morally. It's a good place to be. And so I found my passion with the business. I love helping and develop the advisors and seeing them grow. I love them seeing, I love seeing them help their clients and, protecting their families. And, we all kind of grow up together. And that's really where the unity of AJ Insurance starts, is at the office. And when you realize that you're working with good people, it just builds from there.
Oh, and speaking of charity work, your work with answering the cry of the poor, or ANCOP, is phenomenal. We have seen the story of AJ Insurance putting up an entire village for ANCOP. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. We've worked with several different charities, but absolutely AJ Village is our favorite.
Okay.
And this started, I believe, it was brought to us by one of our agents actually. And they said, hey, we have this program we want you to kind of try to take part in. And that was in 2008, correct? Yeah, 2008. So our first AJ Village took 3 years to build. And that was through our fundraising efforts within the agency and from our corporate partners. And AJ Village Quezon City, which is phase 1, we built 30 homes there for the poorest of the poor. And when I say we built, it was squatters that didn't have a place to live. We provided the funds for them to build on their land, from nothing to their own homes. And I think a few years later, we got to go visit the completed project. We saw the families living in the homes, and they welcomed us with open arms. We saw the kids living in the homes. We recently went back and we saw those same kids all grown up, going to school, We saw cars in the driveways. We saw air conditioning in all the units. We saw businesses being run from these homes. And that is really what pushed us to start our phase 2, which is in Laguna, Philippines, AJ Village phase 2. And so we just started there. We have 10 homes built in phase 2 in Laguna, and we got a chance to visit them as well. And they welcomed us with open arms. And we hope to add to that village and perhaps have a phase 3 in another location in the Philippines soon.
That's amazing. And I keep telling people about, giving back to, because I know I was asking from the interview, your dad, I was asking how important is it that your children have that connection to the Philippines? How important is it for your children, not only Kuya AJ's, but maybe yours too, Josh? How important is it for you to have your children have that connection with their culture and with their heritage?
Yeah, it's funny because when you're younger, that's not a priority. You want to be with your friends. You're growing up here in Canada. You're enjoying things. You want to leave the past behind. That's not what you're about. But as you get older, you become curious about your roots, about where you come from and the history of that place. And I think me and my sister kind of found that at the same time, in our teens, in our late teens, early 20s. And now we try to visit Philippines as often as we can. There's a newfound love there about learning about the culture, and Philippine Islands itself is a beautiful place. We want to go back as soon as the pandemic's over. And I want to bring Elodie there. I want her to see it. I want her to understand the history behind it and how beautiful that place is, how wonderful the people are, how great the food is. It's sad that I was never more motivated personally when I was younger, to maybe learn the language better, to understand the culture better. But I'm doing it now. And if anyone is listening that has that heritage and hasn't really looked into it and hasn't learned from it, I highly recommend, please do so. You'll learn so many things, and it's really fulfilling to do so.
Absolutely. And when one really discovers their heritage and their culture, it's like opening another door to a new world.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? And so when we talk about going back to the Philippines, do we talk about just Manila, or Kuya AJ, saan ba tayo galing? Saan ba tayo?
I was born in Pangasinan.
Okay.
But was raised in Mandaluyong.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we moved in sa Mandaluyong when I was in grade 4.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed there until I moved to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's not only the ANCOP that we help.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Vancouver also, we have lots of charities that we help. Like The Door is Open. Have you heard of that one?
Yep.
It is in somewhere in Hastings or
Hastings, UGM as well, Union Gospel Mission. We partner with them.
What else? Oh, we did money.
McDonald House, the Red Cross.
Yep. Absolutely. And again, it's one of those things that even as a parent, you would want your children to grow up having these values, having these very important characters, because it's character building when you are able to tell them that this world is not just about you, it's about others. It's about what your role is to the life of other people, especially those who are in need. So I guess it's not just it's not just culture, but it's also self. And so it's very, that's why I said it's phenomenal that even with your busy schedules and even with those things that keep you busy every day, AJ Insurance still sets aside some time to do charity work, and I think that's the legacy that I'm sure Kuya AJ would like his children and grandchildren would want to carry on for him.
Even I want my agents to carry on also, because Absolutely. All our agents are involved in fundraising because they know where the money's going on.
And speaking of agents, how many agents does AJ Insurance have?
Hey, you can answer that, Jay.
I'm gonna say close. Well, we're trying to hit 200 this year.
Okay.
So we're almost there.
And this is in the Lower Mainland alone, right?
Primarily in the Lower Mainland.
We have a small office in Calgary, but the thing
Victoria.
How many people there?
We have a handful of agents in in Calgary. They're building up that office. We have a very strong leader in Calgary building up, which is great. We just secured an office in Victoria. We have a wonderful group of female advisors. You know, they're a powerhouse group in Victoria. They're representing AJ Insurance there. And then we have scattered agents across Canada representing us.
So we're talking about Canada nationwide AJ Insurance. What about Canada? What about AJ Insurance worldwide?
Wow.
Potential. Elodie can do that, yeah.
I'm sure you know the Lord has some plans for you somewhere in that future, in that near future.
Yeah, that's right.
But for sure, Canada-wide AJ Insurance is right on the drawing board, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
We are licensed all over Canada. I know it's now in all provinces. We have
I'm just a curious question. If you're licensed here in Canada as an insurance agent or broker, can you practice in other provinces?
You mean in BC, right?
Yes,
If
in
you're
BC.
licensed
Sorry.
in
Yes, in
BC,
BC. Yeah.
Yes, you can. You just have to apply for a license. And it's easy to apply for a license once you have already a license in BC.
Right.
You just have to pay the fee and then they'll give you a license.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, that's mga kababayan, maganda pong tip yan para sa inyo dun sa mga interesadong maging insurance agents. Yep, you take one exam and then you can practice in other provinces as well. Well, this was a pleasant conversation. Magandang kwentuhan. Thank you very much, Kuya AJ. Thank you so much, Josh. It was a pleasure to be able to talk to you and to give us some insights on AJ Insurance and the work that you do and even the charity work that you do. More power to you, more power to AJ Insurance and your agents. And maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
At dito na naman nagtatapos ang balita namin para sa linggong ito. Kung kayo may mga komento, mga issue o balitang nais nyong ibahagi sa aming programa, ang PNC ay bukas para sa inyong lahat. Mag-email lamang po sa balitangvancouver@gmail.com o tumawag sa 604-588-6397. Mula po dito sa Surrey, nagso-social distancing pa rin, ako po si Rosette Correa. At ito, ang Philippine News Canada, Balitang Vancouver. For Filipino and other products from Asia, as well as fresh fruits and vegetables, poultry, meats, and seafood, come and visit 88 Supermarket with branches at 4801 Victoria Drive and its new location at 2611 East 49th Avenue in Vancouver.